What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit. Well, my name's Future Boit. No, it's still Boit. And I'm back with some post-game commentary action. One thing that I've been kind of realizing lately is I am really not able to compete with these guys when I'm commentating my own gameplay, and gets me a little bit frustrated because I know that I'm not quite at the top level anymore, but also I don't feel like I'm that far from most of these guys who are sitting in the top 16. I can definitely find wins against most players nowadays, but I'm just not able to do so unless I'm full concentrating. So something I want to do is I want to get in here and I want to talk about my decision making in these sorts of situations. So we're playing a set against Grass. Grass playing as Loki. Grass has been playing really well lately. He's been putting a lot of hours in, and his level's gotten super high. So I'm taking him incredibly seriously in this game. I'm not hiding any strats. I'm not. I'm basically trying to play as meta as I can here. So this is what I think the best strat is for set in this game, and I'm going to try and approach it the best way I possibly can. So first thing I want to do here with my priest is get on to the walrus as fast as I possibly can. Now, if he spots me, he spots me. If he doesn't spot me, he doesn't spot me, is basically the way that I go about it. So long as I get to the walrus at a reasonable time at the very start of the game, it means it takes about a minute for the walrus to convert, right? So if my opponent spots me at I don't know, 30 seconds into that conversion and starts attacking my priest, I'm still going to get that walrus. I can attack him with my my hyena, and the walrus gets converted, and I can keep my priest alive in order to convert the rest of those walruses there. So you can see that I've already got a house down. I believe I am delaying my monument in this game as well. Oftentimes you'll see me getting a first monument to the villagers up really early with set, but in this matchup I'm wanting to advance as fast as I possibly can, and therefore I'm delaying that monument for that advance time, getting myself a monument later in the game. Does mean less favor, which means less hunt, less upgrades, but advancing faster means I get control in this game, and I want to be in the driver's seat. I'm playing Egyptian. I want to be in the driver's seat. Defending here is not my MO. I basically, if I'm defending here, I'm losing in a way. Now, I can play a little bit of defense here and there, but for the most part, I want to be ensuring that my opponent is on the back foot. Now, in this matchup, I see a lot of set players going for a fast classical age with the idea of going for a shifting sands attack onto enemy villagers. I am very much against that sort of a play. I think that shifting sands is basically ceasefire. It forces your opponent to you can force your opponent to use flaming weapons, and you can use shifting sands to retreat your army and fight him with a handful of units of his units under your town center, keeping everyone nice and safe. Kill off a couple of his units for the shifting sands, and have a good time. Now, I hit the classical age, immediately dropping my barracks with some villagers there, getting that one up as fast as I possibly can. The second barracks doesn't matter as much, but I need to have that first barracks up so that I can spam out Axeman here, because he's going to be making Herso straight away. He's going to have that Ulfsark straight away, and he's going to be looking to put some pressure onto me. I don't need the second barracks up, and you can see that, so I can send my Pharaoh forward, and I can try and put some pressure onto him. I'm trying to find the troll. I'm trying to get pressure onto his Herso. I'm trying to put him onto the back foot here as fast as I possibly can. I get super lucky here on the troll. He walks straight into me. I kill the troll off. He wasn't paying attention there. Probably didn't expect to see the Pharaoh traversing the map like this, but that's how it went. That's how it goes. and I'm able to harass every one of these Herso off of the Longhouse. He's not able to finish that. I'm not sure where his Ulfsark is at the moment, but we do kill off 2 Herso here super early, plus a Troll. This is exactly the opening we want to be getting here in this matchup. We are now firmly in the driver's seat. He gets up the Longhouse because he gets a Herso out nonetheless. I don't really mind that. Longhouse out in the middle of nowhere isn't exactly what we want. I go scouting for that hunt there, and I thought he wasn't on it. I thought, okay, he's just sitting in his base, but we will later find out that he was on it, and I'm a big dum-dum as I hit vision in his base, and I see him there. Luckily for me, he's only eaten 1 of the gazelles, or what are they called? Elks. There, he's only eaten 1 of the elks, so I'm going to be able to kill off the rest of those elks and try and find an advantage moving forward here. There are people out there who will not condone what I'm doing. This is tournament legal. We basically, at the moment, the rules kind of state, at least when I host tournaments, the rules kind of state, so long as the game is in the classical age, killing animals is fair game. You're not allowed to hunt delete, but you are allowed to kill the animals off. As you can see, my Pharaoh now going to be doing some of that damage there. Basically, the point of this is why it's tournament legal in a way is, one, it prevents a form of it's in the game. It's a form of map hack to some degrees. You can call it map hack if you like, but basically you can tell if an animal is being hunted by selecting if it's been killed or not. You can see if the unit's being killed through Fog of War. Now, if I kill the animals, I'm no longer able to see that because all the animals are just going to be dead. I don't know if his village is there or not because I killed off all the animals. So there is a downside to killing off enemy hunt on on the original game. On Extended Edition, that was taken out, so there's not really any downside to it on Extended Edition, but nonetheless, that's a thing, and we'll see how the game's going to go. So he's sending raiding cavalry out here trying to fight me. The one thing that I haven't really prepared for just yet is dealing with throwing axemen. My army kind of walked straight into him, but honestly, my army, as we already know, I've already killed off a lot of units. I'm super far in front. Oh, so I got a ton of axemen here. And so long as I'm on top of his units, I'm going to win this fight. Even though he's got throw an axeman deal like 100% bonus damage versus infantry, my axeman has got something like 40% hack armor. Really, really good at basically killing off infantry, and he was actually getting upgrades during that fight, so he'd actually been a little bit less on those upgrades there. So huge advantage where that's concerned for me. I get a good win there, and now I have to basically make a decision. Okay, I've converted all the walrus. I've killed off all of the elk over there. There's nothing left for me to do here in terms of defense, in terms of offense. So I need to make a decision. Do I go heroic age now? Do I keep pumping units, get to full population? Do I just keep trying to snipe units inside of his base? Do I go for a second town center? Do I get some armory upgrades and go for a classical age gold staff here? Those are all the questions to ask. I generally think that the better play most of the time here is to just get full pop army and then go to the heroic age. No like semi-fast heroics here. The reason why a full pop army is going to be good is at any point when you get, if he decides to attack your full pop army, you can stop going for the heroic age and start pumping units out again. So that's always a possibility. Whereas if you don't keep building units, then life can be a little bit challenging. Now, I cut units here with about 15 population to spare. The reason for this mostly is 15 population allows me to continue building villages while I'm moving up to the heroic age, rather than having full population, which does two things. One, it stops me building animals of set, which I want to build to get myself extra hunt to get to the next age faster, and two, obviously the village is not popping out is a bad thing for us. So We're just going to get ourselves some gazelle and go to the heroic age. We are a little bit behind on our population now, but we get heroic age, and we've already forced him away from mass Herser because of all of our axemen. So we're going to get some value out of ancestors here no matter what. He's actually done a really, really good job of kind of defending thus far. But he does have to worry about ancestors coming. He does have to worry about tornado coming. He's got to worry about a whole lot of things coming for himself. So he has to worry mostly about that second gold mine. So he's trying to put some pressure on here and catch me out, which kind of does. But we'll see basically how we're going to defend this. I start trying to make some hyenas there, but I think better of it because, well, reasons mostly. The marksmen are going to come back and try and defend. I can get myself up I want to get the amygdala up, basically. That's why I cut the hyenas. Like, if I build these hyenas, they're not a big help. It's a small help, but it's not a big help. I'm going to get a whole bunch of population anyways out of my temple. I need to get that amygdala stronghold down. At this point, I'm just trying to figure out where he's getting himself gold from. And I'm trying to prevent him from getting town centers up at the moment. So I've got my priest on one gold mine. I got an obelisk on the other gold mine. I see exactly what he can do, and I'm going to attempt to stop him getting town centers while I am kind of stabilizing in the heroic age here. I need to get my town centers up myself. I need to get my gold mine nice and secured. He's got the army speed advantage with those raiding cavalry moving at 6.0 speed compared to me, who's only got spearmen moving at 5.0 speed, or scorpion men moving at 5.0 speed. So he's got the advantage here in terms of speed, so I have to ensure that my resources are defended. This is like that fundamentals kind of, if you haven't seen the fundamentals series, I do highly recommend it. Basically the idea is that you need to see your weaknesses, identify your weaknesses, and then act on them. So I see that my weaknesses here are my gold mine, and I make a little bit of a panic play here. In hindsight, I should have waited on this until it was much, much further finished on that town center. The misplay here is using shifting sands for anything other than defending against the flaming weapons. There's a chance there I shifting sands onto that, and I'm like, kill off all his army, and then he has nothing left. He's not going heroic age, and I get a gold star moving forward here. But yeah, in hindsight, probably would have been a better idea to just drop ancestors on that location, walk over there with my own axemen, and just be fine with that trade. Instead, now I've got my ancestors to kind of counter a flaming weapons, which just kind of isn't it in the slightest. Now, I believe this was a 2 gold mine. It is a 2 gold mine, Frozen Wastes, and I've actually left a gold mine in my base here. So what that basically means is good for me. I've got a gold mine in case I get pushed off this outside gold mine. I can always leave that. I've got 3,000 gold in my base, so I'm not worried about all too much. At this point, just want to go to the Mythic Age. Just want to be getting myself ready for whatever else is coming next year. As I drop a town center, I kind of don't like this town center. I'm almost 100% sure this would have been better if I just spent the resources going to the Mythic Age. You can see that I could afford it nonetheless, but I did have to sell a whole bunch of wood there, of which the wood probably could have been better off spent going in onto gold upgrades. And then now I could potentially be thinking about getting the town center up because I would have had those resources. As we see, the Throw an Axeman trying to get a town center up. I am trying to prevent every little bit of this from happening. As my villagers here finish up on that hunt, they can jump onto herdables, and I'm going to be able to get myself hippos coming through fairly shortly. And he very, very smartly denies my town center. So not only did I lose a gold power to deny a town center there, he also is putting pressure onto me, denying my own town center. So this was a big mistake for me. I should have been like, okay, he's got his Throw an Axeman over there, so he's obviously going to have his raiding cavalry elsewhere. I knew where half his army was. So where else would he be on the map? Well, he would most of the time be on my economy somewhere with those raiding cavalry. So it would have been a smart idea for me to just leave a handful of spearmen on that position just to defend it. But we got the town center going anyways. We're going to be setting up for our Mythic age here and kind of taking a fight we probably shouldn't have. Whenever you click up to the next age, it's generally a better idea to not take a fight until you've hit that next age. Why? You just invested resources into something and your opponent might not have, right? Which means he's going to have those resources already used somewhere else. So now I hit the Mythic gauge. Now is the time to take the fight. Imagine me taking that fight against all those units there with not only my Pharaoh, but also these Rhino, those Hippo, the Avenger. It would be a really, really good thing for us as we kill the town center with the Tornado, but now he's getting a town center outside of his base near that gold mine. Also, really, really good raid. Yet again, he's been on top of my my town center grabbing shenanigans very, very well thus far. In fact, I think he had a longhouse on that or something. No, nothing on that town center, but he does get a handful of those raiding cavalry there to prevent me from getting the town center. It's really, really nice. I'm going to be trying to put pressure onto his resource. If you lose villages, it means his army is attacking you, not defending himself. So instead of investing into a whole things and trying to retreat back to defend, you can always just put pressure. So he's chucking down this flaming weapons. But now this is some quick calculations in my head. Those throwing axemen are going to be doing 9 damage a second. My chariot archers are doing 9 damage a second. So in the end here, with this fight, this decision to take this fight, basically, I should be able to win because my throwing axemen or his throwing axemen are doing less damage than my chariot archers. My chariot archers have more HP, and while his throwing axemen will get a better fight of this than normal, I'm actually going to be coming out in front here. So chariot archers versus throwing axemen, someone to keep in the back of your head. Not a bad fight to take for the set player, so long as the Hursa are kind of dealt with and you're not, and there's not too many of those in the picture, so you can kind of deal with it. So I get lucky here. I do lose the fight to some degree, but in a way I also won the fight, even though I'm retreating. I'm retreating, having taken a decent fight, and those Hursa that are remaining, I'm just a little bit scared. I'm going to get a myth unit spawn, and I'm not going to have any priests out to deal with it. So we're all good where that's concerned. I got my 3 town centers up, and yeah, that's where we're at. So he's going to be pushing back in and trying to find some value on my army yet again. Now, I see a big red dot over there, and I need to get some units up to attack this gold. I don't need to send everything over there, but you know, like, if I can control my own gold and I can put pressure onto him everywhere, like, it's all good, but I don't have to invest all my army into going and attacking that position at one time. Just a handful of units over there is more than enough. As I see him coming around for a raid here, I send some priests over there. One little misclick that I super regret here is not sending my Pharaoh. I think in my brain, I was like, okay, a couple of axemen, couple of priests, and my Pharaoh will be able to defend that town center there. I also have already got Shadoof, so these farms should be completely fine here as I come through. Send the priests to attack the battle boar, send the axemen to attack the Hursa. Should be more than fine here, right? No, not more than fine. Battle boar are really, really tanky. Not only really, really tanky, but they are also an incredible siege weapon. This is something that I think that most
Why aren't the battle boar dying?
Who complain about them not having great siege don't realize is that Norse have got the best anti-building.
You've got to be joking me on that one.
The battle boar is really fast and really, really strong at 20 crush damage, 20 hack damage, which is around about the same damage as what a portable ram is doing, but with a ton more HP.
Literally set up for it. Saw it coming. Doesn't matter.
Battle boar's got to be scared of them. He gets my town center down. I'm a little bit annoyed at this one because I was like, I reacted well enough to this. I sent priests and I sent my axemen, but no Pharaoh there. If I had the Pharaoh, probably would have been able to hold that, or at the very least, would have had to have microed his Hursa off of my Pharaoh in order to pick off those. Battle boars. But now we can get the we're going to be able to get that town center back up. And one thing that's on my mind is, how do I gold starve him in this game? Because this is the simplest way to win in a game of Age of Mythology, is to get a gold starve. There's not a whole lot of good ways to play around not having gold income in Age of Mythology, which makes it a win condition for most of the time. Most games it's a win condition. So I'm like, okay, I know there's a gold mine on the right side, which is on. I know there's a gold mine on the left side. I haven't scouted amazingly well in this game to see what gold mines are on the bottom left of the map, but I know there's gold mines around the right side. So if I can put a Migdol stronghold up over there, it's probably going to be worth more than if I get myself that town center back. So I'm taking the advantage there by going for the gold instead of getting my economy going. Plus, my economy is in a little bit of shambles here. I'm not really spending my resources all too well at this point. And not only that, I'm going to be able to get some raids happening and take away that gold mine from him moving forward here. Because now I'm going to get my town center back, and we're going to try and get back up to full population and live the dream. Now I'm going to show you a little trick here. He's got a hill fort on the outside here on this position. I'm going to send my chariots in, and I am going to use the passive stance, on those chariot archers, which effectively means they're going to sit there and not run underneath his hill fort. And if he wants to send his units back onto the gold mine, they're going to be there ready to harass them. So they are basically not going to kill off a dwarf, but they're not going, unless Grass alt-S's his own dwarfs there to mine there, not going to kill off a dwarf, but I am going to prevent that gold mine from being mined for a very long time, and he's going to have to use some units here to defend. As I see, he's going for the Huskal, and I go, all right, I'm going to get myself out my Horus technology, which is what? It is Axe of Vengeance. That's going to allow my Axeman to take his buildings down really easily. Yet again, Grass is going to be putting pressure onto my town centers. This time I've got fortified town centers, so it's a bit stronger. I think he's got less battle bore on the town center as well, but nonetheless, my town center, he's still got 3 battle bore there, and even with fortified town centers, still gets torn down by all those units. Absolutely deserves to get that kill there. I was not in position to defend. I do have funeral rights now, so I think I do at this point. So his battle bores are going to die much, much quicker. And I see that he is now out of gold on that position. And he's also 3 town centers deep now. So life is looking a little bit scary. If he does get like nicely into the Mythic Age with set up with his economy like he is, Set can feel a little bit on edge here. Anyways, going to try and get the town center back. Continue our little conquest on this gold mine. I can see that he's attacking my Migdol down, so that's not long for this world. But it does mean I know that he's struggling for resources in a way, because otherwise he wouldn't be this desperate on this position. I'm going to be able to push back up here, get some kills, get my town center back, relieve the pressure. He's also having to pull back to get that gold back there, so I know that I'm in a good spot. Migdol's going up all over the place, so I can spam out my chariot archers a little bit easier. And because he's kind of going for like throw an axeman Huskal in a way, I know that I can get away with just chariot archer axeman. Really enjoy that. He's not really able to spam out the Jarls for me to be scared about my unit composition here just yet. And the other thing here is, if I set up this raid on the bottom, the catapult with the walls on that bottom town center, this is the type of thing which Norse this is my big problem with Norse in terms of everything, as we see that he's going to be tapping out there. But my big problem with Norse is he can't deal with those sorts of late game town center raiding shenanigans. Anyways, I'll leave you with past Boit. Streaming Age of Mythology is a tough job, man. I want to be able to interact and play at a high level, but I just can't. There's too much shit going on for you to like sit back and relax and play Age of Mythology. It's like a fucking hard game. I don't think I realize, like, if I'm not putting in like 100%, my rating goes down by like 300 points.